Many years ago, in the beautiful city of Accra, Ghana, Akuba, a very beautiful young girl, rushed her mother to the hospital. That very night, her mother was sick. Akuba thought it was just her normal malaria she normally had. She would just run to the nearest chemist shop and get her drugs. But this time around, the drugs didn't work. Her mother started to vomit blood and she was very weak. This made Akuba to panic and she rushed her mother to the hospital. When she got there, the hospital demanded for part payment and Akuba didn't have any money on her. She begged the doctor to treat her mother. She will use that opportunity to go out, run around and gather the money. But the doctor told her, they don't operate like that. And it is hospital policy. Part payment must be made before he, the doctor, must proceed to touch her mother. It is the policy. And there is nothing he can do about that. Akuba tried all she could, begged the doctor all she could, but they refused to touch her mother. She then ran out of the hospital and went to all the relatives, and no one was willing to help. They were just giving her peanuts. She then remembered her good friend who owns a very big supermarket. She went to her and begged her for help. Luckily for her friend gave her the part payment on the condition she should drop her phone. In case she didn't pay back, she would use her phone as collateral. Akuba was shocked. Her own best friend treating her in such a manner. She never expected it. She had no choice. She dropped her phone immediately and ran back to the hospital. When she got to the hospital, she rushed to the counter to make payment. She was about to make the part payment when the doctor called her and told her it's too late, that her mother had passed away a few minutes ago. Akuba was devastated. She cried. She shouted her mother's name, dragged her, pinched her, but she didn't wake up. Akuba was terribly down. After everything she tried to make sure her mother lived for her, but still, she died. She went home and told the bad news to her family members. All the people that once said they don't have any money to give her when she was running around for money so that she could pay part payments and the doctors would start treatment. All of them, all of a sudden, started making arrangements of her mother's burial. They even made donations that shocked Akuba. Akuba also had lost her father when she was just a child. She also has a younger sister before her father died. Now, she has lost her mother, the only one putting food on their table, all because of money. And the fact that she got the shock of her life when those that say they don't have money that night, all of a sudden, have plenty money when the mother had finally died. Even her friend, who took her phone as collateral, didn't bother about the money she borrowed her. She even gave her back her phone, even give her another money on top, and told her to forget about the money she borrowed her. She used the money and contribute to the burial of her mother. All of these things baffled Akuba. How people can be so wicked to someone who was dying and suddenly they are nice to someone who have already died. It baffled her. She was so sad. Akuba swore that she would make money in this her life. She would make bastard money and live the life of luxury her parents never lived. Akuba swore that she would give her sister the best life. With the money she gathered from the burial, she did a low-key burial for her mother and used the remaining money to start up a business. Her late mother used to fry puff-puff at the junction, and her mother used that puff money to train her up to the university. Now that she graduated, and she looked and searched for job, but unfortunately, she didn't get any job. She decided to use part of the money from the burial to start doing business. She needed to start doing something to support her younger sister Sarah because she is still in school. So, Akuba decided to go back to her mother's business. She started frying puff puff, she added buns to it. Business started moving for her, and one day, she and her sister was discussing, and her sister Sarah told her that she saw one advert on social media and the person was selling shawarma. She needs to see the traffic on her page. Sarah told her sister that people were really buying and ordering online. Sarah now suggested to Akuba, why don't she start selling her own puff puff and buns online? She can also add shawarma to it, since she good with all these pastries. Sarah convinced her to try it and see how it goes. She even gave her the contact of someone she can call, chat with the person so the person can teach her how to start running ads on social media. Akuba was impressed and decided to look into it. And when she eventually did, she decided to invest in running adverts on her puff puff and buns business. She also added shawarma to it. And in less than a year, Akuba opened a shop. From one shop to more than 5 branches of Akuba pastries and shawarma. Trading all over social media, people patronized her online and offline. They talked about how good and sweet her pastries are. Akuba grew into wealth overnight. She bought a house and moved in with her sister. Things started moving very well for her. But one thing stand out for her. She never stopped praying and also asking her late parents to always come to her rescue. With this, she made it big with her pastries business. One evening, Akuba went to the supermarket to buy some provisions for her and her sister. After she was done and she wanted to make payment, she discovered that she wasn't with her credit card and she did transfer, but it was not working. The rude staff that was attending to her started to rain insults on her, calling her a thief. That is how they come here, pretending that they lost something. Before you know what's happening, they would steal something and run away. But a young man came to Akuba's rescue. He paid for her groceries that evening. They exchanged numbers. And later, Akuba and the young man agreed to meet up and they met at a restaurant. Akuba thanked the young man and he introduced himself as Nathan. Akuba proposed to pay back the money that Nathan helped her to pay off at the supermarket. But Nathan refused and told her not to bother, that he would want to be friends with her instead. Akuba, seeing a real gentleman, agreed to be friends with him. And from there, their love story started. They went on dates upon dates. Akuba was transparent with Nathan about her finances, how she doesn't want to marry anyone less. But seeing him and how lovely he is, a good-hearted and caring man, she's willing to give it a try. So they entered into very deep relationship. 1 year later, Nathan proved himself and he proposed to Akuba and she accepted. They did their wedding. After the wedding, Nathan told Akuba that he wants to move in her own house and Akuba agreed. At first, she didn't see anything wrong with her husband moving into her mansion with her. Just 6 months after their marriage, her mother-in-law called her husband one evening and told him that she fell and injured her leg. She has been managing the pain and there is no one to take care of her since she's alone at the village. Meanwhile, Nathan is from a family of 5. Unfortunately, he lost his father and he has two other siblings, a boy and a girl, who is now adults. Nathan's sister has gotten married and she has two children for her husband. The other brother is also married with kids. When Nathan's mother called and told him about her fall, he told her not to worry, that he would call her back, that he needs to discuss with his wife whether she should come over or they should employ someone to look after her there. But Nathan's mother told Nathan she doesn't want to stay alone in the village anymore, that she wants to come to the city and stay with him and his wife so that they could take good care of her. That day, when Akuba came back from work, Nathan told her about his mother's complaint. She fell and she has no one looking after her. Akuba felt pity for the woman. At least she's elderly and she thought the woman would not give her any issues. And secondly, she doesn't have a mother anymore. So bringing Nathan's mother to her home was nothing to Akuba. She had no issues about it. She accepted and told Nathan to bring his mother over. Nathan was so happy and thanked Akuba for agreeing for his mother to come over. Nathan immediately told his mother the good news, and 2 days later, Mama showed at Akuba's house, and when she landed, she greeted and chatted so well with Nathan, but not with Akuba. She ignored her a lot of times. From the way she answered her greetings when she walked in, Akuba ignored her and welcomed her with love. Only 1 week since Nathan's mother came to the house, she complained about almost everything. Akuba's sister is already in the university, so she comes back only during holidays. So Akuba employed maids to clean the house. She employed a chef to cook the food and a gateman. Akuba is a boss lady. She has money and she can't be working at the same time doing house chores and cleaning. That would be so stressful and hectic for her. So she employed those who would be helping her out at home. Also, Akuba has 6 branches of her businesses to run, even though she has managers that manages those other branches, but still, it is her business and she needs to put her head down or else her business will run down. It was always the chef that served Nathan's mother breakfast, lunch and dinner. She has never seen Akuba enter the kitchen to cook for her or her husband because Akuba always come back late at night. Nathan's mother called Nathan one day and asked him the reason why his wife doesn't cook for him. Nathan explained that it is because of her work, but his mother disagreed and told Nathan that a good wife should be able to handle her work and cooking business, not leaving everything in the mercy of others. Nathan's mother complained about the time Akuba always come back from work, saying it is not good for a woman, a married woman for that matter, to be coming back by that time of the day. Nathan's mother asked him to caution his wife and be the man of the house. Nathan's mother also told him that she won't eat anything in the house again until his wife cooks for her. As they finished discussing, immediately Akuba came back from work. Nathan's mother asked her to go inside the kitchen and prepare her fish pepper soup and white rice. Akuba was surprised. She wasn't expecting that. And her mother-in-law didn't even answer her greeting. Akuba then told her, "Mama, I am just coming back from work. I had a very stressful day today. Please, Mama, I need to rest. Maybe I'll come down later and cook the food. Or better still, just tell one of the chefs to prepare it for you." Nathan's mother became angry when Akuba told her to tell the chef. She angrily asked her, if she doesn't know how to cook or what. That ever since she stepped foot in the house, that she, Akuba, have never cooked anything for her. It was always the chef do this, the chef do that. Why would the chef be the one to cook for her when she has a daughter-in-law? Nathan's mother started to say a lot of mean things to her, but Akuba ignored it all. She even apologized on top, for peace sake. She used all the stress from the work and entered the kitchen and still prepared her fish pepper soup and white rice and served her. Nathan's mother didn't even thank her for the food. She still ate the food regardless. When Akuba went inside her room, she complained to Nathan that she doesn't like the vibe her mother is giving her. Akuba told her husband to please talk to her mother. But rather, Nathan told her that his mother is right. She should stop coming home late and she should take up the wifely duties. Akuba was also surprised the way her husband was talking. She reminded Nathan that this is the way she was when he got married to her. He knows that she hardly cook and do house chores because of her work. And she also reminded him, he said he has no issues with it. Then, why is he saying otherwise? Oh, is it because your mother said so? Akuba asked Nathan. Nathan didn't reply her. She too didn't bother arguing with him. She went to bed. She was so exhausted. Nathan's mother, from then onwards, started to make Akuba uncomfortable in her own home. She would always complain to her husband that Akuba does nothing in the house. If not to wake up, bathe and leave and come back. That is not how marriage worked. Nathan did nothing to help with the situation, but rather he started to side with his mother. Then one night, Akuba heard a knock on the door, and when she opened the door, it was Nathan's sister Vivian with her two children. Vivian was so tired, looking like someone who ran for hours and sweating. Akuba was shocked to see her. She wasn't expecting her, and her husband didn't tell her that his sister is coming. Akuba welcomed her regardless. And when Nathan came back, Vivian told Nathan that she ran away from her marriage, and it's because her husband beats her all the time, even in front of their kids. Nathan consoled her and showed her the room she would stay with her kids for the night. When Nathan entered the room, Akuba asked her husband if he knows that his sister Vivian would be coming to their house that night. But Nathan said he didn't know that she would be coming. Then, who gave her our house address? Akuba asked Nathan, but he said he wasn't the one, which means the only person that could have done that is Nathan's mother. Akuba swallowed that one and didn't complain. It has been 8 months of their marriage. Akuba noticed she was pregnant. She didn't share the news since her husband and his mother are busy with Vivian's case. Vivian's husband had been threatening the whole family, so Akuba decided not to tell anyone about her pregnancy. Not until they sort out Vivian's problem. Fast forward to 5 months later, after Akuba found out she was pregnant. Her tummy was already showing. Luckily for her, she had only mild morning sickness and no vomiting at all. She then, one fateful day, decided to tell her husband that she's pregnant. But Nathan was happy. But he wasn't surprised. He asked Akuba when she was planning to even tell him that she's pregnant all this while. If not that her mother and sister had already told him few months back, he wouldn't have known that his wife is pregnant. Akuba was surprised, but she explained the reason why she didn't tell him. Nathan didn't believe her. Throughout her pregnancy, her sister-in-law and mother-in-law was still staying in her house. And with all the shege they were showing her, she never replied them all because of her pregnancy. 9 months later, Akuba entered labor, and when she was rushed to the hospital, she had complications while giving birth through vaginal delivery. But because of the complication, she had to use C-section to give birth to her daughter. When it was time to make payment, the bill was much because of the C-section and the complications Akuba had. Nathan refused to bring his own money. His reason is that he's planning to get an apartment for his sister and mother. And since Akuba, has been complaining that they should leave, so he decided to do the needful and started searching for apartment for them to move into. This baffled Akuba. So, because of your sister and your mother, that is why you will not pay for your own daughter's hospital bill? Akuba didn't want to argue with him. She has her own money. She quietly paid for her own hospital bill, and she was discharged together with her baby. 3 months after Akuba gave birth to her baby girl, Vivian continued to trouble her. She would barge into her room without knocking, and she started to accuse Akuba of her eating her brother's money. That is why he has not built a good house for them in the village, but built this beautiful house for her. Vivian even went as far as telling Akuba to remove the juju that she used on her brother, so that her brother's senses will come back and face his own family. In all of this, Akuba never replied or said anything to her. She would just smile and walk away. She's always used to walking away. She doesn't want to engage her so that it will not lead to fight. It now got worse that Vivian would enter Akuba's bedroom and take her clothes, her shoes and bag. She will wear them and go out, and afterwards she never returns them. To her, it's her brother's money that bought the clothes and shoes, so her sister-in-law has no right to complain. Akuba told her husband Nathan that she will not tolerate such an insult. They should start locking their rooms before leaving for work, and he should be fast in getting the apartment for his mother and sister so that they would move out. Nathan agreed, and they started locking their rooms, and he promised her that he's looking for apartments and very soon they would move out. When Nathan's mother and sister started noticing that they locked their room before leaving, Nathan's mother started to complain and asked Nathan why they would lock their room before leaving. Is it that they will steal or what? What are they taking them for? That is an insult, and they should never lock their room again. But Akuba stood her ground. That issue was solved because she refused to stop locking her room. Then, it has been over 10 months, going to 1 year. Vivian moved in with her children, and she refused to leave and go back to her husband's house. Even Nathan's mother refused to go back to the village, even when she's well and good to go. Akuba complained severally, but Nathan will always assure her that he's doing something. One fateful day, Vivian gave Nathan a piece of paper, and when Nathan asked her what the piece of paper is about, she told Nathan that is the school that she wants her children to go to, that she found a school for them. She then gave Nathan the bill instead of Nathan to tell her sister that the school is expensive and the pay is beyond his budget. He picked it up and brought the list to Akuba. When Akuba opened the list and saw whooping 1.5 million for each term, and it is for 2 of her children, she was shocked. Nathan, a school paying whooping 1.5 million for each term? And you want me to be paying for 2 children? That's 3 million naira for every month. From where will I get the money if I may even ask you? Now what for your sister? So she has already marked her territory. She wants to stay in my matrimonial home for the rest of her life with her children. This is not possible, Nathan. And I can't pay such huge amount of money for just children that are still toddlers. Who does that? Akuba then told Nathan to return the list to her sister and tell her to look for a school that pay at least 100,000 to 200,000 per term for each person. And it is him that will make the payment, not her, because her sister Vivian and her children is not her problem. Nathan tried to convince her to help him make the payment. Akuba asked him if she was to make the payment, how much is he contributing in the 1.3 million per person? But Nathan told her he doesn't have such a huge amount of money, that his salary is small, that he can't be paying such money. Akuba then told him to go and return the list to her sister and tell her that he cannot afford the pay. Nathan had no choice than to return to Vivian and tell her that he can't right now make any such payment because he has a lot of bills on his head. Nathan then told Vivian to look for a lower school with a lower pay he can afford for now. But Vivian refused. When Akuba came back that day, Vivian stood on her path and refused her to pass. Akuba then asked her what the problem was. Vivian told her that her plan will never work. So, you want to eat my brother's money all alone? Akuba, it will never work. Oh. Vivian started to say the most demeaning words to Akuba. But still, Akuba didn't even reply her. She would always smile and walk away. And that was what she did that fateful day. She walked inside her room without saying anything to her. When Akuba walked inside her room and met her husband Nathan, who was behaving as if he does not understand what was going on in the house, Akuba asked him when his sister and mother is leaving her house, because she can't take all those insults anymore and he is not helping matters. Why would she be complaining always and he's not doing anything? Your sister always find a way to make me angry. She wants us to fight. But me, I am not ready to fight. Please, Nathan, find a way to take your parents out of my house. Rent a house for your sister and mother. They should leave my house. Or my next line of action, you will regret it deeply. But Nathan promised her that he would do something in a week time. In a week time, they would leave. It has been over 1 year since Vivian and her children came to stay at Akuba's house. And Akuba's daughter recently started going to creche, especially on the days she knows she would do a lot of road work, going to different branches to inspect. That fateful day, she doesn't always take her daughter along with her because of her traveling with the car. She would always put her in a crèche together with her nanny so she would look after her properly. The next day is her day of inspection, so Akuba was to travel to her 6 different branches to do inspection. Then her daughter will be going to the crèche with her nanny. That morning, Nathan first woke up, dressed and left the house. Akuba then dressed up to go out with her daughter and one of the nannies when Vivian suddenly attacked her from nowhere. She poured her a bowl of food that she was about to eat that morning. She poured it on Akuba's dress. Akuba was very angry that the hot food could have touched her daughter because the girl was inside a car seater and Akuba was carrying the car seater. But she was able to save her daughter in time. Akuba was so pissed off, she couldn't take it anymore. She bounced on Vivian and beat the living day out of her. After beating her, her nose started to bleed. As she was still beating Vivian, her mother-in-law came out and spit on her, used the mop stick beside her and started to hit Akuba. Akuba then left Vivian and faced her mother-in-law. First, she spit on her back and collected the mop stick from her, but she did not hit her back. She just threw the mop stick away and warned her never in her life to lay hands on her again. She then angrily went upstairs and changed her clothes. She still left for her business that fateful day. She angrily called Nathan on the phone and told him that she does not want to see her sister and her mother in her house by the time she gets back from work, because she would throw them out herself and that would be an insult to him. He should do the needful. Her husband asked her severally what the problem was, but she didn't say anything. Nathan returned home before Akuba and the mother told Nathan all the lies in this world. Even Vivian joined and lied to her toes. When Akuba came back from work that day, Nathan started to query her angrily, asking her why she attacked his own mother, her own mother-in-law. That is very, very wrong, because his mother and sister are older than her and they were trying to correct her. Why did she then choose to be violent? Nathan then asked Akuba to apologize to his mother and sister. Akuba smiled fakely and turned to him. She does not have the time and strength to start bantering words with him. She just showed him the CCTV camera. And after Nathan finished checking the CCTV camera, watching everything that happened, Nathan still blamed Akuba for spitting on his mother, her own mother-in-law. That is insulting. And she also went ahead and broke his sister's nose. Nathan told Akuba that she should have become the bigger person and leave, walk away without fighting, than beating up her sister-in-law in such a manner. He was already making arrangements for them to live in peace. Now they have fight. Nathan then told her to go and kneel and apologize to her mother-in-law first. Akuba was shocked. She wasn't expecting such a reply from her husband. She refused to do such. She then told Nathan to take his mother and sister with her children to the apartment he rented for them in the morning, or he should join them and get out of her house. Nathan started to beg that she should come down. Nathan begged her and told Akuba that he actually saw an apartment though, but just that the rent of the house is 1.3 million and renewal is 1.1 and he can't afford it for now. But if she gives him the money, he would immediately make the payment and they will leave the next day. Akuba laughed so hard and said to Nathan, "Do you know what your problem is? You don't like cutting your clothes according to your size, Nathan." Nathan, I thought I married a responsible man. I thought I married a reasonable man. Or were you pretending all this while? You can't afford a rent of 1.3 million and you wait for it. Why can't you go for a rent of 500,000 in a well-good area? Or you choose the same area that we are living, area of big men. Wait oh, Nathan, you know, all this thing have been going on. I keep wondering, I hope you didn't tell your family members that you own this house. Oh, is that the reason why your mother and sister are misbehaving, saying I'm eating your money? Anyways, I am not a snitch, Nathan. Tell them the truth yourself, or I will do it for you. And I will gladly give them money to travel back to the village tomorrow morning. Because, Nathan, your mother and sister won't spend another night in my home. Nathan agreed to talk to them. The next morning, when Akuba woke up, Nathan was nowhere to be found. He has left for work very early. And her mother-in-law prepared breakfast for her for the first time ever since she came to her house. Even the sister-in-law Vivian was also so friendly that morning. Vivian apologized for starting a fight with her and told Akuba that she and her mother would be leaving by the weekend. Her mother-in-law too also apologized. Everything was shocking to her. She went inside her room, turned on her CCTV to watch what transpired before the apology. But she found out that the CCTV was not recording for the past 8 hours. She then made a call and went back to her mother-in-law and Vivian. Akuba then told them that she accepted their apology and she has no grudge against them, but they won't spend another night in her house. Vivian asked her, "Your house? This is our brother's house and you're the one that should leave. Why sending us out? Is it because he got married to you?" Akuba asked Vivian, who told her that this house is her brother's house. "For your information, Vivian, and dear mother-in-law, you both are living in my house. My hard-earned money is what I used to buy this house. You have been eating my food and spending my money. But today and now is the last day in my house. Vivian, if your brother doesn't like what I am doing right now, he's free to come and join you guys in the village because you both are leaving my house this minute and I will gladly give you transport to go back to the village." Vivian was so embarrassed. Even Vivian's mother, she couldn't show her face because of shame. They have been fighting for what does not belong to them all this while. And for the reason why the CCTV turned off for almost 8 hours, Nathan would have to explain when he comes back. Vivian and her children, plus her mother, left Akuba's house that morning, very shamefully. Akuba had already called the thugs in case they want to prove stubborn. By the time Nathan came back and saw that his wife drove her mother and sister away, he was so angry. He queried Akuba why she would do such a wicked thing to throw out her own in-laws out of their house. Akuba asked him which house is our house because the last time she remembered, he's not the owner of the house. Nathan made her to understand that if he decides to divorce her tomorrow, that he would have 50% right on the house. Her business is inclusive because it is all in her name. Akuba was shocked. "Oh, so you married me because of my money? Chai, you have put hand in a tipper full of sand, Nathan, because you will get nothing, Mr. Husband. This house is under my parents' name and my businesses is also under my parents' name. Why do you think I became so rich and successful? It's because of my parents' name that I used on the businesses. I've always prayed to them and prayed to God for them to make me who I am today. You're a very big moron, Nathan. My sister too, oh I forgot, her name is also included in all my properties that I bought. Yes, I never told her, but my name was never there. So, what will you now gain? I told you the truth now. Nathan, you're a gold digger. So, it has always been about the money. I started suspecting you when I gave birth to our daughter. You refused to pay for your own daughter's birth. Shame on you, Nathan. So, all this marriage, everything I've put to it, it's what? A sham? Nathan, even with everything your mother and sister did to me, I endured. I never insulted them. I still showed them love and respect. Because I once have a mother and I know how it's like to disrespect one's mother. But they went too far. They went too far by fighting me and spitting on me. I defended myself. But all this while you never stood by me. You have always sided with your mother and sister. Which means, if you are the one that have an upper hand in this marriage, I would have been long gone. Chai, Nathan, I wish I stood by my words by marrying someone who earns even way more than me. But I stooped so low and this is what I get? An ingrate? Nathan, I think it's better you go in there, pack your bags and follow your family. Because I won't stay with such a man. Nathan saying that he lost the fight, even if he divorces Akuba. he gets nothing. Started to beg, at least I have a roof over his head. But she refused and told him to leave. It turns out it was Nathan that tampered with the CCTV. And when Akuba asked him about it, he denied it. Not knowing his true intentions, Akuba decided to end the marriage, save her life, the life of her daughter, and her sister from such a poisonous man. Nathan left the house and Akuba divorced him. To my besties watching this story, do you think Akuba did the right thing by throwing her husband out of her house? Give me your comments, your honest opinion in the comment section below. I would love to hear it and reply to it. And please know this story is based on a true life story. Oh yeah, support your girl. Share this story to your loved ones, your friends, please. Give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you have not.